We have one more day for July. And today we're going to start a whole new session with our Groovekart Challenge. Today with Mrs. Christine Case. So, Christine, if you are somewhere around there outside in the beautiful world, report to service because we need you right now. So,
Report to service. Get
report to duty
your butt
because
in the room.
get yes. So, guys, thank you so much for being with us again today. And as always, we have Mrs. Donna Fox, also Mr. David Lemon, and myself. And we're ready to go. We're ready to start. So, guys, when you say your highs and hellos, anybody?
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
All
Hey,
righty. So
everyone. Well, and we have
let's
lots to say today.
we do
Here's
because
Christine.
it's the first day again. For those that are just joining us for the first time, Groove Digital with the product Groovekart. We every Thursday we actually offer a training, and for the past 8 weeks, actually 9 weeks, we did the very first Groovekart challenge with Mrs. Donna Fox. So during that process, we had a little competition with our members, and Mrs. Christine Case actually won the competition. And she is going to be the showcase for the next 8 weeks. So we're going to be working hand to hand with her in order to get her website rolling. And I believe Christine is joining us just right now. I believe, David.
Yep. 3, 2, 1. Bam.
Woohoo.
Hey, Christine,
Hey,
how are you?
Christine. Hi.
You see, now I feel underdressed.
I know how you feel.
I just like, nope, I got beat today. So, Christine, very nice to see you. And well, I believe just because we spoke about a little bit via email in what you want to do today. So today we're going to be talking about just mostly e-commerce, but I want to pretty much introduce you as our new showcase. So everybody, again, for those that haven't heard or seen Mrs. Christine Case, she is down here, I believe, right here. So Christine, say hi to the world and introduce yourself and tell us how excited you are to be here with us today.
Hello, world. I am not excited at all. I know you guys can't tell at all. So I just wanted to say that I'm very grateful from the bottom of my heart that I was chosen. And I am very excited to be here. And I don't know even how to express my excitement because I'll start crying if I do. But I am very overwhelmed with gratitude for those that voted for me and for the opportunity to be able to do this in honor of my husband.
Awesome. That's great. Donna, anything you have to say? I mean, I see you thinking too much down there.
I have nothing to say. I'll try not to think so much, though, or at least
Right.
not so loudly.
Okay, no, it's not a problem. So, guys, thank you, Christine. You know it's going to be so much fun for the next 8 weeks. I know all of us here is an honor to work in this project because of not only you won the contest, but also because of what is going to bring. I understand we're going to be working on a website that is going to be for that we're going to have merchandise for firemen and pretty much everything for firefighters and everybody that actually just do a great service to all of us. So today, as I said, we're going to just talk about a little bit of the idea and along that line, just to discuss how will be the best way for us to help you grow that idea. And of course, in the next upcoming weeks, how to do it. And we're gonna do it in the process. We're gonna just work with you in the with your store, adding the products, designing the products if you need help with that as well. Just pretty much forming a great idea and making it a reality. So, and David, I'm gonna make a question, and I'm forgot. Okay, I think I see the comments now. For everybody that is out there right now looking at us, the four of us looking at the screens and waiting patiently to see what was going to do today, uh, please press a number one or just comment that is the first time that you're joining us for the first time ever. Let's just see how many ones we get. And let's see, it's going to be exciting. Let's see how many ones. How many ones? Who's the first one? Nice. Thanks, David. Appreciate that. I love the support.
Dude, it's first time here.
The first time here.
Yep.
All
First time
right.
with Christine for sure.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Did
well-
you see that? StreamYard just did that. It hasn't
that
done that
was me.
before. No. It moved the
The
images
screen,
up to make room for the scroll instead of putting it over. I haven't seen it
Yep.
do that before. It must be an update. So that's kind of exciting.
I
Yeah.
believe it was. Yeah. That was the first time that I saw that too. But hey, exciting new stuff. So, the basics pretty much. Let me just start to see my screen. Share my screen. Give me 1 second because I happen to have a new screen and it's not allowing me to share it. Okay. And actually, I got an old screen because a lot of people were telling me, "Hey, your screen is actually too small and we cannot see the letters. We cannot see certain things." So hopefully, I can have the trick that Mrs. Fox. Okay, let's see. Oh no, this wasn't the one.
You have to set it to play a slideshow
Presenter view, or is it play?
No.
Set up
in the
show?
slide. So set up. Slideshow setup.
Set up.
Go to
Okay.
setup right there.
Okay.
And then browse in an individual window. So the second button, hit the second radio button,
Okay.
and then
See?
go. Okay. And now play it.
You learn something new every day, and
And play from
maybe
start.
start.
Yep. There
All
you go.
right, now we got it. And let me just see because screen is a little bit smaller, so it's not going to be a little bit trickier. But I think I centered it okay.
That's
Awesome.
good.
All right. Thanks, David. So I guess I did see a couple of ones. So Jerry Sharp, Darcy Hall. Oh, Eldon Hambling. How are you? So I guess the first time here. And so guys, as I mentioned today, we don't have a lot of major announcements as we usually do. So we're gonna just go straight into the challenge presentation. And
Last week was a pretty major announcement. If you didn't
Yeah.
see the replay from last week, you'll want to check it out because Mike Filsame was on and he demonstrated the new Groovekart for everyone. So,
That's right. And he actually announced all the great changes that is coming along with it. So if you didn't see it, please go see it whenever you have a chance. And of course, you're going to be able to see this recording as well. So you can, join us in the new challenge. So also, we're going to be talking about e-commerce 101, just a small crash course on what we're going to be doing. So Christine get a little bit of an idea what she's going to get into for the next 7 weeks, well, 8 weeks with this one. And more importantly, what it will be the best for her to sell. And what do I want to sell? And that question that we all have to make ourselves once we decided to start our own e-commerce store. So we're going to be working on that. Let me just move to slide 2. And I'll just go over the slides for a couple of minutes. And Donna, please feel free to jump in at any time. Also, Christine, if you have a question, remember, you're the driver right now. So if you have a question, all that you have to say, John, stop for a second. I have a question. And
Christine, I know that you're very, very polite. Interrupt him. If you don't want to interrupt him, wave. I will notice you and interrupt him, or he will notice you and interrupt himself. So, but don't be afraid to interrupt.
no,
Okay.
please don't. Now, today, even though you're a student, remember we all learning from each other. And if you hear something that I might say that goes against that, you want to say, hey, you know what? I think you're wrong, John. So let's do that because that's what actually builds us up when we learn from each other and when we share ideas. So what is the challenge? So the challenge is for the very people that is here with us for the first time is pretty much 8 weeks in which we show you step by step how to create your store. And for those who are here, who have been here before with us, that maybe it's the second time looking at the challenge, it will be a reminder and a refresher because every 8 weeks we're gonna do it, but some new stuff might come up, new steps, new processes, and especially new updates because we're gonna have new functionality. For example, in a couple of weeks we're gonna have new functionality as far as of recurring payments in Groovekart. We're going to have more functionality within the UX. So all that stuff will serve as a refresher of how to work the best with Groovekart. So what is it? It's going to be a fun learning experience to discover how to maximize the use of your Groovekart store. We're learning from zero because I am going to even create the store in our system. You guys will get to see that, and then we'll get to see how Christine is going to log in and step by step create her store. Of course, we're going to be helping her along the way. We're going to be just teaching her step by step how to do the steps, what to do in certain scenarios, how to move certain pieces in her homepage, what products to create, what tools to use for to improve the conversion of their site, and many other cool things along the way. So now that we know what it is what should I do it? And the reason we'll know it because we want to have the best stores possible, and we as a company want to offer you that tool. And that tool every week for the past couple of weeks is being changing, is being updating. Today we had another server update because we are considering that we're going to be growing incredibly for the next year, I believe it is, once we rolled out certain things. And things are changing. The platform is more stable now. We got a lot of more people working. I believe is somewhere around 16 more people working in the whole projects, but 4 or 5 developers are working directly in Groovekart. So they're making the platform better. And because you will learn everything that you need to know in Groovekart. We want to make sure that by the end of these 8 weeks, like many other people did, like Sandro Soto last 8 weeks, he actually won because the store looks almost perfect. It will look great. So we're gonna make sure that you do the same thing, that you have the chance to win, some money because yes, we have prizes, and the prizes and people that are here for the first time, you might see them later. But the most important is you get to have the knowledge of how to work with your product. So let me move right along to the next slide. And as I just mentioned, it's going to be the challenge. Not only is it going to be fun, but we're going to create a fully functional store from zero. So you'll see the store, the process from zero to hero. Then one of the requirements of the challenge, and this is one of the parts that I can stress the most, is attend all session if possible. Make sure that you commit yourself. I mean, there is no reward with no commitment. And if you don't commit yourself to come here every Thursday or at least watch the replays, then you're going to get lost in the shuffle. And then you're going to say, okay, how do I do this? I know it's going to be hard for a lot of people, but just make sure that you watch the replays. I know David and the team in social media is actually doing a lot of hard work with videos. I know David is doing a lot of videos, Simon, just to make sure that you guys get the information. So watch the sessions. If you can possibly attend it, it will be perfect. And of course, you have to complete the assessments. We're gonna the assignments. We're gonna just give you a little bit of homework so you can complete. And remember, you're not gonna be graded on that. You're not gonna be just judged on anything that you do, but it's for your own experience. And then another why is because you're gonna learn more stuff from e-commerce that you might not know now. So you're gonna learn what a scarcity tool is, even when I pronounce it wrong. Or maybe you're gonna learn how to increase your conversion. What is SEO? How do I make sure that I create the right links? There's gonna be a lot of lingo and a lot of words that maybe you might not understand. So that is the opportunity that we can offer you to understand the concepts, and of course use the tricks and the tips that we're gonna give you. More important, have fun. I think learning when in a fun environment, just like we did with Donna's last session with her store, which I know she's gonna be selling paintings left and right in a couple of months. So she had fun. We all have fun, and the all of us that witnessed the process, so we know they're gonna have fun with Christine. And of course, you're gonna get rewarded for it. We're gonna have a couple of prizes. Now, Donna, unless you have anything else to say before I move to the next slide. Nope. I see you're very energetic today, Donna. It's okay. I'm sorry. Did I catch you just like with some water in your mouth or something? All right. So, what is e-commerce? And I want to just ask the question because e-commerce can be, let's not deceiving, but is just too big of a word sometimes. So, I would like to know with the people that were present, and I'm going to, of course, give the floor for a second to Christine. Christine, what do you think is e-commerce?
I think it's a platform that you can sell your product either digitally or like a Shopify, like a drop shipping type environment.
All right, good. Mrs. Fox, would you like to give us your opinion or?
Can I read the answer that's on the screen? E-commerce is the activity of electronically buying or selling of products or online services or over
All
the
right,
internet.
well, I'll give you that. So you get an A for effort, and
You
you can
read.
read. And so let's get some opinions. Yes, Jerry, those slides will be available for download whenever in the academy. So I'll make sure that we provide that to David. So that's pretty much it. I mean, as I said, it's just too big of a word to describe in just a couple of sentences because e-commerce can be a lot of things. But in a nutshell, it's just selling stuff online. Whatever you have, either if you have paintings like Donna have, or t-shirts, whatever you want to design, products, even you can sell your knowledge, which is I know it's a big trend. A lot of people are selling products digitally because they want to just share the knowledge to the world, especially now around these times. So that's what it is. Now, in Groovekart, we have a couple of things that I'm going to provide the disclosure because I don't believe I did it last time. And we can sell a lot of things, but there are things that we cannot sell, unfortunately, in Groovekart. And in Groovekart, we're not allowed to sell firearms, adult items, tobacco, vaping products, illegal narcotics, or counterfeit products. So unfortunately or fortunately, those products are completely banned. So we cannot provide any services to for you to sell those products. So no ammunitions, no guns, nothing that is illegal or counterfeit. And I'm going to start a little bit of the counterfeit products because that is a problem. If your store gets caught selling counterfeiting items, that is a federal crime. So you don't want to do that. Same thing with firearms and adult items. They're not federally punished, but they're not for everybody, and we don't have the range or certain things to protect you in the event that there's a problem with certain things. So also what you can do in Groovekart, you can have POD products. What is POD, or print on demand? Products that you can actually hire a third party to design for you, not design but print for you and ship it to your customers. Very simple concept. Same thing with drop shipping. Pretty much what Christine just mentioned, something that you can just put in your store from a third party vendor, and that vendor will pack it up and ship it to your customer. All that you have to do is submit the order when your customer orders from your store, and they'll do the rest. Your own products, just like we did with Donna. She paints her own paintings, beautiful paintings, by the way. And Donna, take a look at this. If you want to buy a very nice picture, don't forget to visit Donna Fox. Is it donnafoxart.com?
It
So
is.
there's the plug for Donna.
I don't
So
even think the merchant account is out of test mode right now. So
so we're gonna take care of that by next week. So if anybody wants to have a very original piece, so go to donnafoxart.com. And of course, digital products. If you have any idea, any ebook, any course, your knowledge that can be shared with the world digitally. It could be either a video, it could be a audio like a podcast, or even an ebook. So that's pretty much e-commerce, and that's how we will actually just go as far as of that slide. Now, I'm gonna just talk a little bit, just probably 30 seconds about numbers. We know that e-commerce sells. I mean, everybody's doing it now, especially now during these times. Everybody's looking to do something in slide and in e-commerce. They want to have their store. They want to sell something. I mean, to the point that Facebook now has their own shopping cart. So because they saw the demand, and there's an opportunity. So, but there's two sides, and that's what we have to understand. There's the consumer side and the store owner side. And we all are consumers. We all purchase stuff from online all the time. I mean, having kids, I do that all the time. And but also I'm in the side for the store owners. But we do have to consider what it involves to become an owner. What does it entail? So you're in charge of your store, you're in charge of your ideas, your products, uh, and of course, finding out what will be the best way to promote your products, what is the industry that you're going to be focusing on. And I'm going to just touch a little bit here with Christine because this will be part of her process. As a store owner, we know that the idea is to create a store for firefighters and their families. So we have that piece right now. So now we got to start thinking as the store owner how, what, when, and who. How we're going to do it, what we're going to do, and who is going to benefit for what we do. The biggest thing on online right now is you have to fill a problem or a need. And sometimes when we own a store and we want to promote something, in this case, we're going to make sure that firefighters get recognized and we're going to design products around them in honor, of course, of Christine's husband and all of the firefighters out there. So we have that idea. Now we know the what. That is what we're going to do. We're going to have a store for firefighters. How we're going to do it? We're going to start designing products. We're going to maybe have a couple of digital products to offer. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a manual uh, that how can you help yourself in the event of a fire? How do you can get out of a fire? I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas here as far as the digital side. Because on the physical side, the possibilities are endless. Because as long as we have the right message to the who or our market, then it will be just almost set. Because, for example, uh, the products that you're going to sell are going to be geared toward not only the firemen, but also their families, their friends, and relatives. And everybody knows a fireman. I mean, I know a fireman. Of course, you must know, Christine, a lot of firemen in your life. So, and I bet that David and Donna have been in contact with one at least once in their lives, and they know what they do. So the message to put across is going to be very simple. Now, how are we going to do it? That's how the store comes to play. And it's going to be like this. Why is attractive? Why is e-commerce the way to do this? Why is the tool? Because it has a low entry cost, at least with Groovekart, because you just buy it once and you pay forever. Then you don't have to have inventory if you don't want to, because you can go to the dropshipping route or the print on demand route. It's easy to implement. And as I mentioned, there's no inventory. That's the biggest part right now in e-commerce. You don't want to invest a lot of money. So, with that said, once you are devising your business plan, when you're thinking about the what and the who and the when, now we know that we have those three covered. When do we start? And pretty much we're starting now. Right now with Christine Case, we're starting now to create the idea, and we're going to be talking about now about the products. But we know now that it's very attractive to start with e-commerce, and we're going to just do it that way. Now, what do you want to sell? And this is what I want Christine to get pen and paper, because we're going to be talking a lot about what products you can actually bring in. And most likely, I'll bring a couple of samples to the screen, but and I'm going to get ideas from everybody. And I think that will be the cool part. So we know that we have the firemen as the base, which is not really a hobby, but you like firemen. You actually like their lifestyle, what they do, what they represent. So that makes you happy, right? And I'm talking about Christine in this case because we're gonna just pretty much move around that theme of the firemen for her store. But in your case out there, for everybody that is actually listening to us, follow your heart and what makes you happy. If writing poetry makes you happy, think of a way to not only sell your poetry, but also putting in t-shirt, put it in a mug. There's products for everything and for everybody. So there's many ways, but the whole idea is for you to do something that makes you happy. Now, if you want to do it for yourself or somebody else, so talk to that somebody else. Case in point, Christine. We're gonna just be working with her, but I believe, Christine, that your consultant will be your husband, correct?
Yes.
Because you're gonna be asking me, hey, honey, I have an idea for a T-shirt. Tell me what you think about this. Or I discussed with John and the class about this idea. Tell me what you think about it. Because we gotta be very, very careful when we do products like this because they're unique and we want to make sure that people like them. So there's gonna be a lot of tried and error, but we're gonna do it. And then of course finding the opportunities. I mean, what biggest opportunity right now? They're first responders, and we have of course firemen. Uh, we have also the police. We have EMTs. We have nurses. We have doctors. There's many other aspects that the ones that the people that are actually right now listening to us, that we can take advantage of that. So if that's an idea that you have, work it out. Think of what you can offer, which we're gonna start doing in a second. And then, of course, find out one or two products, or product line, I should say. Either you're gonna go either the physical route with or digital products. The digital products is just more into manuals and things like that, but physical products you can have a lot of opportunity with print on demand and drop shipping and your own products. Let's say you actually knit this nice carpets, or I don't know, maybe you have an arts and crafts degree and you do lamps out of bamboo, or you do great stuff with paper. You want to just shift it around a theme or a niche and maybe just make that a business. And I know our very own George Oblonsky, he actually does very cool bamboo lamps. And recently, we had a little get together, and he showed me one that he made with Mickey Mouse. And I wish I could get a picture. I'll probably for next week. And he actually carved out the Mickey Mouse into the bamboo, and he put a light on it inside of the bamboo, and it's the coolest thing ever.
Mm.
So that is the creativity that we want to do when you're talking about your own products. Explore that venue and work with it. Now, I am talking too much, Donna, and I'm getting worried because you're just looking at the screen thinking, I need to hear your voice. So I want to get your opinion on finding opportunities and what will be the best route for Christine.
Oh, well, what she's doing is creating a series of products and services that are designed for a particular niche group. Like, I feel like Christine's already got this under wraps. We're starting this information for people that are starting the challenge, but Christine knows what she's going to do with her hobby. She knows that who her niche market is and the opportunity within that market. And yeah, I'm that's how I feel.
Okay. So, Christine, it's safe to assume that Donna pretty much nailed it in the head.
Always.
Oh,
I
I
don't
know.
ever pull punches. I've been told I should.
I know that I'm in trouble. I know today is gonna be fun. So, but you see, folks, what we're gonna do is exactly this: finding exactly what we want to do and do it. Now that we talk about the opportunities and your hobbies, what do we do to create the right products? And this is where, and I have spoken before about this. A lot of people are start with a lot of products, and that is a big problem. A lot of products, a lot of problems. Why? Because you're gonna get yourself too busy trying to do a product that you're never going to put it into market, because you're gonna get too worried about the design, the colors, the sizes, this and that. Forget about that. Get one idea and laser focus. What products? You want to do mugs? Perfect. Let's do mugs. You want to do socks? Let's do socks. To start, why? Because if you try to have 20, 30 designs, 30 different products of the same design, you're going to get burned out. It's better off to start with a couple of products with the same design, but don't overdo it. Why? Because it's time consuming. And the last thing that we want to do is get you frustrated. And that is what happens with 75% of businesses. at least online, people get completely frustrated right after they cannot see their products taking off. And that is a process. Remember, it's a process. It's not a, and I always get this wrong, it's not a race, it's a sprint. Did I say that right?
It's not a
Uh,
sprint, it's a marathon is actually the
okay.
expression. It's
It's
not
not,
something that you're going to do fast. It is a
it's
long-term
a long term process.
experience.
And you see, I always get it wrong. That's why I just like, that's why I have to, repeat myself on that one. So get your laser focus idea and then get your resources. So in this case, we're going to be working with Christine because what she might need help on is on the designing of the products and making sure that the store is aligned to what she wants to do. So can she design the products herself? Uh, will she need a designer? We'll find out along the process. And we're going to help her out to design the products, to build those products, to make sure that they actually get in the store, the right showcase, the right products for the right niche market, which we already know what it is. And of course, right after we complete the 8 weeks, we always want to scale every business. We want to make sure that we do more and better and bigger. So, what are the skills that we need to hire the right people? Do I need a graphic designer? Do I need a mentor? Do I need a programmer? Do I need a ghostwriter if what I do is selling ebooks? So, we're going to just discover that along the process. Now, we are getting to the cool part. In your case, Christine, we know now that it is going to be firefighter related. What do we sell? Do we sell products for drop shipping or print on demand? And I'm going to touch base on print on demand first. So you're going to get the ideas of what we're going to do with this. And then I'm going to be talking a little bit on drop shipping. So print on demand or POD, for those that are here for the first time, is the art or the business that allows you to create a design and put it into a product using a third party, and that third party will do the rest. You get to place the order, they actually just send the product to your customer, and of course you keep the profits, because at the end of the day we're building a store to make money. So that's in 30 seconds what print on demand is. But what do you need to do print on demand? So to do print on demand, and I have done this for the past maybe 9 years, in my own personal experience, you need a lot of creativity, especially in ideas wise, maybe a little sayings, maybe graphically, maybe pictures, illustrations. That's important because if you have a print on demand product, remember, you're not selling a t shirt, you're not selling a mug, you're selling your design, you're selling the message. And that's what is important here, that is not about the product, it's about the message. And that's where a lot of people get lost, like, yeah, but I have 300 designs and I'm not selling. Maybe because you don't have a focused message, maybe because you don't have a focused niche, that you're trying to please everybody, that everybody just walks by your store and they don't see anything that is interesting for them. So you need that little bit of creativity, or you need maybe a help from somebody that understands that creative process, like a designer, or uh, maybe somebody that has the skills to design or come up with content or creative writing. And most importantly, who can do print on demand? Anyone can do print on demand. And I'm gonna just make a parallel because I just saw this movie last night, and I kind of just like, hey, you know what? This is gonna be a cool example. For those who have kids, I bet that you have seen the movie Ratatouille, right? Have you ever
One of
seen
my
that movie?
favorites.
Ratatouille. I mean, I love that movie, not for the fact that with my daughter I saw it maybe 125 times, but with my son, I'm doing it now for the 89th time. But in the message, uh, the little Remy, the let's say the star of the movie, is a rat that wants to cook, and then he goes through this process by reading a book that says anyone can cook. So this is the same thing with print on demand. Anyone can do print on demand as long as you have a couple of ideas and the resources and a store to showcase your products, your designs. You're completely fine. If you're a photographer, if you're a painter, if you have uh, the ability to do graphic design, you'll have maybe a little bit more advantage. But anybody with a great idea can do a print and design product. And I'm going to bring a couple of stores to sample, but that is uh, that is pretty much what print on demand is. And what are the pros of owning a print on demand store? Because that's what we have to balance. Because a lot of people that are listening to me right now, they're saying, "Yeah, great. I have the accessibility. I have a couple of friends that are graphic designers, but what are the pros? You can easily manage it. You control the process because at the end of the day, you are the creative engine behind it. It's your product, and the biggest one for me is no inventory. Because with the sources that we provide, Teespring, like Printful, like Layer App, you don't have to worry about inventory. All that you do is put your design in the products and let it run. What are the cons? Of course, there's always a downside to some things, and we want to make sure that we understand all that. What are the cons? Shipping times. Sometimes when companies get really busy, they unfortunately take a little longer to deliver your products to your customers. Uh, and some of them might have limited products. For example, Tscape specializes only in t-shirts, and I think it's baby clothes, the little onesies. Printful, in the other hand, they do have a wide array of products. You can find t-shirts, hoodies, you can find mugs. What else do they have? Um, Cases,
Shoes,
shoes. Well, that's that also layer.
blankets,
I'm sorry.
blankets. Don't they have like blankets
Oh
and
yeah,
coat bags and
yeah, and I have a couple of ideas for Christine that she's gonna find very cool, and if we implement them, will be very nice. And so another con is the limited control on refunds. Uh, that because when you have a refund, then you have to deal with the actual third party, and they will decide that part in some cases. So that's pretty much the cons, and let's moving along. That's pretty much it. Drop shipping, and now I do have to ask Christine. Do you have a question about drop shipping?
No, not right now. I don't.
Awesome, perfect. I love to ask because now we're moving to drop shipping. And drop shipping is basically the same concept, but you're doing it with products, either electronics, art, toys, gadgets, electronic widgets, anything that you can think of, you can actually drop shipping. And what it simply means that you get a connection, in our case with Groovekart, you connect with AliExpress, you connect your store with AliExpress, and you have, I believe, it's 120,000 different products, maybe millions of products right now. I lost the number. But if you have an idea of selling um, baseball cards, you'll find baseball cards in AliExpress. So you can connect it. You can offer your cards. Make sure you put it on a profit, and it's done. I mean, I have seen people do beautiful drop shipping stores in literally 48 hours, 72 hours. But they have done the research. Remember, guys, there's not overnight success, unless, of course, you win the lottery. Everything takes work.
used to say with my business partner when we were 30, we used to say it only takes 30 years to make an overnight success.
That is correct.
So, yeah.
Like everything else in life, everything takes work, and we're not going to beautify the things that can be beautified because you're going to spend time, you're going to learn new things, and a lot of people don't like to do new things. But if you're embarking with us this very cool journey of the next 8 weeks, I will recommend you to start just reading more about e-commerce, understanding your process, understanding your needs, and who and what you're going to sell. So what do you need for drop shipping? What we all have: a target or a market, a product, and a willingness to learn. And I think the third one is the more important one because there's always tips and tricks that we can do in our stores to make sure that people can go to our store, maybe with Facebook, maybe with Instagram, now with TikTok, uh, and other social media channels. So you're going to learn those. So you need to be willing to learn and go out of your comfort zone. When you're doing with e-commerce and you want to be successful, there's two things that you need to do. feel free to do whatever you need to do and start losing, or not losing, but kind of just forget about any apprehensions that you might have about going in social media. I mean, I was one of those. I was always afraid of speaking to a mic or do a video, but I learned through my process, through what I'm doing here with you guys, and of course every Thursday, stop being so shy about what I have to say and say it, do it. So if you have to have a TikTok account, and I'm bringing up TikTok because I found out that TikTok is going to be right after the whole debacle of maybe be banned of the United States. That social platform, that social media platform, is going to be one of the biggest one, if not the biggest one, in the next year for e-commerce because of the abilities that the platform has. So write yourself a little note, get a TikTok account. And yes, there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of millennials, a lot of different kinds of people that you might not like. All that you have to do is to scroll up and just pass them around. You're going to get focused on your business, on your business. And as a Facebook user said, you need at least 10,000 hours behind your belt to be an expert. I don't know about 10,000, but 10,000 is definitely a good amount of hours.
Malcolm Gladwell says you do.
Exactly. I
So
was about to say.
one guy said it. Everybody decided it was
Exactly.
true.
It will be 10,000, but you definitely need the time to master. Everything comes as the more you do, you become a master. The more you actually just you see, and even the dog agrees with me. So you need to have spend the time and do and work, and you'll become then an expert. And to a point, a lot of people that are out there that they just sell, they just always announce, "Oh, I'm the guru in this," and then I'm the guru in that. They always say one thing: "I'm always learning," because there's always something to learn. There's a new trend, there's a new app, there's a new something coming up. So don't be afraid of learning. What are the cons and pros of dropshipping? The pros is a very low risk. You don't have to spend a lot of capital. And again, you don't need inventory because everything happens with your third party. Now, the cons, you have a large competition. That's the only thing. But remember this, it's about your niche market. It's how well you target your market. It's how well you do your ads. So all that stuff makes a difference. Of course, you have limited control because all that you do is select your products and offer them. Then delivery times and other things that are in more the logistics are just completely dependent on the manufacturer and the person that is shipping out for you. And of course, the higher shipping time. Sometimes the shipping times is definitely a con in some instances. Now let's just go to a couple of questions now that we're hitting in close to 6:45. David, do we have any questions from the audience?
And while we're waiting for David, is your next slide going to cover your own products? Or are you just talking about drop shipping and print on demand? That
I'm sorry.
question is for you, John.
I'm sorry. I was like, who's that question for? I'm sorry.
Are you covering your own products?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I believe is the next slide.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah.
Then I don't have anything to say.
John, for now, the most asked question was, can we sell CBD products or can we sell CBD-related products, like anything related to that niche? But basically, that was the most asked question so far.
Yes, actually, we allow CBD products. Now, one of the biggest hurdles right now that we're having, and everybody is in the market, by the way, is getting the processing for the credit cards to be approved of CBD. That's one of the biggest challenges right now because if you're a new company, it's going to be a little challenging for you to get approved to do CBD because it's still considered a high risk market. And I'm going to tell you why. A couple of months ago, when this whole CBD boom started, a couple of companies, I'm not going to name names, of course, but a couple of companies are starting to say that CBD cures this and CBD will help you with this and CBD will miraculously do this. And unfortunately, that is not allowed because any kind of product that is a derivative of a CBD product cannot be used to claim to cure any diseases. And of course, with that happening, a lot of people are start calling and saying, hey, you know what? I want my money back. This product is completely false. It's not as advertised. So that generated that the banks will say, hey, you know what? We're going to make sure that we control the process on this situation.
It's
How do I?
also even hard for CBD companies to get hosting for their websites, to get email marketing services. It's in violation of a lot of those services right now. It's very difficult for that as a business model right now, simply because even though CBD is perfectly legal in the US, it is still tied and connected with an industry that is only just now becoming legal. And a lot of email marketing services will not let you email about CBD because it lowers the delivery rates of all the other people. Interesting.
Carrie, it is. And Carrie just have a very good question. And she says, can you sell water pipes? I am not sure. That is one of those gray areas because that still might be
Because
considered
it's paraphernalia. Yep.
paraphernalia in some states. So that is something that I don't believe we allowed because in some states and maybe in Florida they're legal, but if I ship it to let's say North Carolina, which I know is completely legal, then if it happens to be an ATF agent at the other end, then it will be a problem. So we don't want to do that. We and of course you don't want to do that. Now, David, I'm sorry. I think you had another question.
Nope.
Nope.
He's
I just hear you
No,
nodding.
that was
So
it.
okay, cool.
Yeah, I just muted myself.
Awesome. So let's just go now to your own products because Donna just brought it up and said, "Hey, can I sell my own products?" Of course you can, and this is one of the best options that I will believe there is now in e-commerce because if you have a product that you can manufacture yourself on the cheap end and you have control of everything, that's perfect. Again, driven by your passion, like Donna did last, in the last challenge. She actually loves to paint. We all have seen the paints. She just put them out there. Maybe you don't paint, but maybe you do arts and crafts. Maybe you do lamps. Maybe you do incredibly cool pencils, or you do widgets, or you customize something. And something that a lot of people are forgetting, customization is one of the biggest assets right now that we have as far as a fun opportunity. When you customize a product or you customize an experience, that is an opportunity. So if you happen to have your own product and you can customize it to somebody's need, let's say to send a message for a birthday or Father's Day or Mother's Day, then that is a product that will definitely make a difference. And of course, what do you need to offer physical products? Number one, you need a product. So define the product. What are you going to sell? If you have, of course, inventory, if you have your own, manufacturing process, what do you need to actually create that product? You will need, of course, an inventory of those materials, and of course, and again, the willingness to learn. And it's a process. E-commerce, you'll be a perfect candidate to work with e-commerce if you go down your product. If you are a master of creating your product, then take that time to learn the process of e-commerce and just put your product to the world. Who can create a product? Anyone. So again, e-commerce does not see any limitations for anybody. Anyone can actually create a product. If you, as I said, if you do arts and crafts and you want to sell uh, posters, like or second place winner from last time, from the last challenge, I believe it was Colorful Chi. He actually just came up with this great idea of printing oversight pages for a coloring experience for children. So, and right now, I hope he's doing all right. And it's a great product. I believe I bought it. So, what are the pros and the cons of having your own products? The pros, very low entry cost because you manage all that. You can actually know where you actually can purchase your inventory, not your inventory, but your materials for your product. Then limited material cost is knowledge based because you know how to create it. So you know how to manufacture the product, so you have control of it. And with that comes the full control of the process. I control how I create it. I control how I sell it. It's simple as that. The cons,
I want to add a couple more pros.
oh, sure.
It's a product that's unique to the marketplace. So your own product is going to have an advantage that no other Groovekart user can sell that product. So that's pretty huge. That is a pretty big pro. Um, and yeah, maybe that's it.
All right. And you know what? Because with that big option that you have that is a unique product, then it comes a little bit of a con, which is it's unknown to the market.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you to make sure that you push that product everywhere, your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, because you want people to know about your product. You want to push it out to the world, and of course, showcases in a very cool shopping cart experience like Groovekart. Uh, time. Time is another of cons what I see when you're selling your products because you have to consider manufacturing. If you're a solopreneur, you're doing everything. You're doing accounting, you're doing your product, you're doing e-commerce, you're doing design. It's going to take you time. That's a given. So be mindful of your time. And inventory. Let's say your product hits the market in a way that everybody wants it. You got to be prepared for that. You got to be prepared to have a good, solid inventory to supply the demand. So now there you have it, folks. This is your own product in Groovekart. Now, digital products. There's the last one on the saga here because we have a lot of opportunities, and I believe digital products are the most fun to do because they're the easiest, I guess, because they're knowledge based. So, and if you have an ebook that you want to sell, let's say your expertise, there's a lot of people right now at home thinking, "Hey, I'm driving myself nuts with my kids, but I'm a psychologist. I think I can write an ebook to tell other parents how to interact with their kids. Or maybe writing a book how to be more patient with your spouse, or how to improve my relationship during the quarantine. Many things that you can do. Your knowledge is your value, not your value, but your opportunity. And I think I cannot just frame that incorrectly because it's not your value, but the opportunity that you have to the world and offer it. So, how you can just do that? Create an ebook. In this case, what do you need to create that? So it will be an ebook, a product or products, pretty much ebooks, audiobooks, uh, podcast, and you need an interested market, which I think right now one of the biggest things that we have is time at home. So you can get a lot of eyes looking at you. So if you find the right niche market, you can definitely make a difference and you can start selling your products. And again, the willingness to learn is a whole different outlook in business when it comes to digital products because it's easier, but also the quality of your product has to be optimal for the needs of the person that is buying your product. Who can create a product, a digital product? Anyone. Again, anybody can deal with e-commerce at all levels: drop shipping, print on demand, your own products, and digital products. The pros of digital products: you're in control because you have the knowledge. You are the master of your realm. I mean, if you know about a topic, write the hell out of it and sell the ebook. I mean, we have a tool called Groove Pages that you can create a funnel, plug it into GrooveCell, hide that document in a maybe in a G drive, and have people pay for it, and then send them the link for the G drive and just sell it. Or you have a store with Groovekart. You put the digital product, you put the download there, you present the whole shipping experience, the whole shopping experience, and they get their product as well. So you're in control. And you know the best efforts that you can put to the product. So you know the time that you're going to spend creating the product. And once you create the product, what time you're going to be using to, optimize your store and put your products online. Now, what are the cons? I believe, and maybe Donna, if you believe that might be, I might have a little bit wrong here. You need a lot of money to promote a digital product. And by the way, you're mute.
I said, I can't wait to hear your explanation of the first
Yeah.
one because I completely
I
disagree.
know. What I say larger capital needs for marketing is what I meant is like if you want to make it big, you might need to spend a little bit of money into getting your product out there in the world. And what I meant by that is maybe a publishing house if you want to just take it from the digital to now a more mainstream.
Well,
Uh,
then it's not digital anymore.
Correct. But that was a transition that I
Fight
wanted
you on
to.
this one. I don't think there are larger capital needs for marketing for digital products. I think marketing a product is marketing a product. So, yeah, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on that, Con.
No, and you know what? That's why we're here because I think I left it when I was just reviewing the slides because that was part of one of the slides that we'll probably see in a second, which is scaling and the digital products. The way that a lot of people are started, it was with digital products, but then they actually created a physical book, a product.
Well,
So
I will give you this. Like when you're talking about digital products, you're often talking about topics, which are larger keywords than products. So if you're paying for advertising, like Facebook advertising, and you have an ebook about internet marketing, you're going to pay a lot more for those ads than if you have a pair of women's high top shoes with sunflowers on them. Don't know why that example came up, but like, you know, you can see that the very small niche market will cost
Right.
you less to create ads for than a very popular, broader topic that you might have in an ebook. So I'll kind of give you that right there.
All right. So you respectfully concede.
Just a little bit in this one specific example.
No, it's completely fine. I mean, and this is why we love the interaction because, again, as a professional in the e-commerce industry, I'm always learning. I read books all the time, books from our competitors, book from every, and that's the only way to grow internally. And that's why what I put all the time willingness to learn because you need to be willing to step out of your comfort zone and spend some time watching videos in how to do things and understanding things better. And of course, one of the biggest cons for me in digital products is the higher quantity times. I mean, you're going to spend more time refining your document. You're going to be sitting more on a computer doing editing. You can always just go with a ghostwriter to help you, but also it's going to increase your cost. So those are the couple of things. Now let's moving along.
Wait, before we go, I want to hear from Christine
Christine.
about which one of those categories she's planning on, any of them, all of them. Do you have an idea yet?
I do have an idea. I was thinking more of the not the drop shipping because it's, you know, my kind of idea or my husband's idea is the t-shirts, and we're thinking of something else with it. Of course, we are not creative, and well, he's more than I am, but we're not like you where we could draw it and then have it for print. So it would have to be something that would be like the t-shirt place or something like that, that I can get the ideas
So there is
from.
a beautiful resource, and it's Fiverr.com. And there are so many talented graphic artists on Fiverr that can put something together for you. Do not let your inability to draw something hold you back, because artists tend to horribly undervalue their talents, so they're really, really cheap to hire.
You are correct. Fiverr, and also in the event, and this is something that we use a lot. It's a resource called Canva, and if you want to explore that with a couple of ideas yourself, Canva is one of the resources, and we also have an internal product and that we can use once we got to the product development. But at least for the graphic, for the product itself, as Donna said, you can hire somebody, but also think about this. There is a lot of products out there in regards to the market that you might want to start to work with that you can just get the ideas and turn them around. I'm going to bring up right now Photoshop for a second because I think it's a good, let me see if I can have, and of course I have it in my other computer and not this one. Yep. I had a sample t-shirt. Let me see if I can find it really quick online. and I'm gonna bring it in because this was actually the last part and the last slide. Because the next 30 minutes, we're gonna talk about Christine's specific case. Because let me just bring this up here right now. Let me just see if I can accommodate it better. And let's start looking for the resources that you want to explore. So, Christine, so you mentioned that your husband was a fireman for so many years, right?
Yes.
Uh, so, what we want to do is target 3 or 4 different people, which are firefighters themselves, the spouses of the firefighters, the relatives of the firefighters, and the friends of the firefighters. Why? Because they know what they do. And once you appeal to the product creation and you add that emotion, like, hey, my father is the greatest firefighter of all time. My grandpa was the best firefighter of all time. My aunt is the best fire. So you see the pattern. Once you start creating a product with one simple message, but then you start thinking about what products, which is exactly what I'm going to bring right now, is where you can start working with. I'm going to open Printful really quickly here. And now that we have the idea, now that we have the market, what products? Now, I bet you wrote the 4 types of the 4 markets that we're going to have: the firefighters themselves, the spouses of the firefighters, the family, and the friends of the firefighters. Why? Because for each of those, you can have a specific product. I am the proud mother of a firefighter. That's an idea for a T-shirt, maybe for a cap. But don't limit yourself to T-shirts. And the reason why I brought Printful is because of the wide array of products that they have. And I came in with a crazy idea because I took notes previous to our live today. And I don't know, ladies, what you think, but I have a crazy idea for a shower curtain.
Okay.
And just imagine that you have a shower curtain with flames coming from the bottom that said, "It's hot in here." What do you guys think of
Adorable.
that?
It's
I'm sorry?
adorable.
I think, and think about this. Not a lot of people said shower curtains online, or maybe they are, but not with that very specific niche in mind. And when you live in a household with a fireman, that will be the cool thing to have. And that's what you're looking for, to create that impact on the product. If you have a product that, let's say you have a friend coming to your house and, hey, can I use your bathroom? The first thing that they're going to notice is this big thing with flames around it that said it's hot in here. They're just going to get a crack at it and they're going to ask you a question. Where did you get that? So, hey, I actually got it online. And if you want it, here, go to this link. You can be your own marketing. And that's what many, many people do. You are a product of a product. I believe, no, not the t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, but I design a lot of t-shirts. And whatever I design, I buy myself and I wear them. And people ask me, hey, that's a cool t-shirt. Where you got it? I ask, oh, here. And I always carry my business cards. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I just had some more made for the company that I'm going to release because people think that business cards are overrated. They're not. You see, always when you are an entrepreneur, when you have an online store, this is the difference because if you sell t-shirts, wear your t-shirts and people will ask you, hey, that's a cool t-shirt. Where you get it? Pull one of these and say, hey, you know what? Get it right here. In the back, there's a coupon for 20%. Oh, cool. Thank you. I'll probably just take a look at it. Or put a QR code in the card. If you want them to start just going right now in the mobile, go in the phone, scan the QR, take them to the store. Those are the ideas that will make the difference and put you up with the competition. So don't forget that. And as a matter of fact, I'll probably work on that myself and I'll give you that surprise. But work on this. Work on that idea. Work on your business cards. Now, We haven't defined the domain name, which we'll do in the next class, but now we have an idea, some products.
I love this as an idea. Business cards have always seemed a little archaic to me, but as an idea for if you were a store owner like that, I love it.
Look, and take a look at this. I don't know if you all can see it.
Oh
What does
yeah,
it say in the top? Teas
teas for
for
everyone.
everyone. I mean, always be inclusive. If you're a business owner, you have to be inclusive, not only to your niche market, but you never know. In your case, Christine, you're gonna have contact with a lot of your families and friends that are firefighters. So think of products that they will have on their own house. Another idea: a mug, a simple, cool mug
Mhm.
that will have a message. Uh, but always, and let's see what we find. So let's just look up here. Mugs for firemen. Let's see what comes up with.
While you're looking, Dwight just said that he always wears his designs and gets good comments. The
Exactly.
other interesting thing is if you are wearing your designs, they are advertising, which means they're tax deductible. So you can make your clothing tax deductible as advertising if it includes your designs for your store.
Exactly.
Kind of
So
awesome.
and we have a tons of examples here. For example, oh,
I
this
like
is nice,
that.
personalized coffee mug. Let's see which one it is. It's a design of a truckie. That this one right here is a little more in the caricature kind of aspect. Then you have a more patriotic one. So as you can see, if you go sit down for an hour, you're gonna get your mind blown of the amount of ideas that you have. Now, I'm gonna touch on something that a lot of people might disagree, but I believe is the rule of thumb when you have a print-on-demand business. Try to make your products original. A copycat never takes the first place. And I learned that with experience with a previous company with Teespring. I had a very successful design for electricians, and somebody copied it, and they have to return the money, and they actually awarded to me when it all came down to because they copy blatantly my design exactly the same, and I found out the company made them return all the funds that they actually got with their campaigns, and I was awarded that because it was a cool idea, it was an original idea, and people loved it. And it could happen to you. So make your ideas original. Never, you might probably get ideas from a design, but never copy any other idea because that will devaluate your product. So
And
a perfect
that
example.
applies across the board. That is not just Groovekart. That's not just mugs or things that you find in a store or things that you're doing in print on demand. That's it in business too. If you don't copy, make it better. Make it better because you can.
Exactly. That's and you. I mean, I couldn't say it better. If you make it better, people will buy it. And let me. I just want to copy here because here, for example, I hate being sexy, but I'm a firefighter, so I can help it. I mean, just the message is pretty cool. And this is the kind of stuff, and you see that I love the caricature that comes along with it. But this is the kind of stuff that conveys a reaction. And that's what you want to make sure that your products do, that they actually touch those feelings. Like when I get this mug out and I'm talking to my neighbor, the neighbor will say, "Hey, cool mug." Or when I'm wearing this t shirt, "Oh, hey, cool t shirt. Where do you get it?" And again, case in point, your shower curtain. Can you do shower curtains? Of course you can. Why? Because in Printful you have a lot of the products that you can do. You can do literally. Let's take a look. What will be other cool ideas? And if anybody in the audience see me scrolling down in the products and they wanna add recommend a product, feel free. And also for the audience, if you're thinking about going to a niche market that and you're stuck in the process of thinking what products can I offer, take a look at this. Take a look at all the products that we're going to have. Let me see if I have the product templates here. Where do we get the products? Hold on. File library, stores. Nope. Let me go to the stores and let me just create a product here really quickly. Okay. Let me go here to Tijuana. Let me just add the product. And let's take a look. And I know that okay, they did lift that up. Yeah. Now I believe that Printful is shipping normally. I believe some products. But let's take a look at what products. In your case, Christine. So t-shirts are definitely a must, but don't just overdo it with t-shirts. You can also probably put a couple of hoodies on your selection. Also, maybe hats. I think that will be a hat with a cool design, so we can start thinking about that. Let's see. In men's clothing, we have t-shirts, all over shirts, polo shirts, polo shirts. I don't know, Donna. What do you think? Polo shirts. I don't think that will be. I haven't seen many firemen just wearing polos. Have you?
I wouldn't know because people don't usually go around with signs that say I'm a fireman. So I don't know.
I love that. I knew you're gonna come with something like that. I'm like, I think I had the wrong person for that one.
This is why my husband hates asking me questions too. I'm very literal.
But I don't hate I don't hate the answers. That's the cool part. If anything, I learned from the answers. For example, these jackets are kind of cool, and with a cool symbol, I don't know. It would be a nice product. And remember, guys, we're giving ideas. That doesn't mean that we're gonna go crazy and we're gonna start designing everything for everybody. No, we're gonna do a process. We're getting the ideas of the products, and then we're gonna do something called research. Based on the products that I selected, let me do a research on Google, in Instagram, in Facebook to see who's selling what products in that specific market. Don't go crazy. I'm thinking I'm gonna hire a designer and I'm gonna give him 30 different products and he needs to get me 10 different designs. So we're just gathering right now ideas. Right now we're sitting in a think tank of four minds right now sitting together here and coming up with ideas. So maybe these jackets will be okay. Now, I don't know, pants it will be cool and temporarily unavailable, but they do have all over men's joggers. And this is a product that I believe it will give a chuckle to a lot of people, but it will sell underwear.
Underwear that says it's getting hot in here.
There you go. You see? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that was my idea, but I'm gonna take the fifth.
Oh gosh, I'm incorrigible. Wait until you see the bikini that's coming out for Groove.
Oh yes, we had a very nice conversation about that piece earlier this week. But look, it's a product, and if it's fun enough, and if it has good, and I believe it's actually good quality. I've been in contact with Printful products. They're actually comfortable, and that's the only thing that I'm gonna say. Uh, and it's a product, and with the right elements of creativity, you can make a long, nice products. Not for only underwear, but for men's clothing in general. So we have that, and let's just now go with ladies' clothing. Let me just see if I can go here to all departments again. In ladies, we're gonna do this pretty much the same thing. For example, t-shirts, of course, tank tops, crop tops. Here, let me just see the hoodies here because hoodies is always a good selection. You cannot go wrong with a nice hoodie. But oh, I don't believe they have anything available now. Oh, well, only one available. But as soon as the whole pandemic thing dies down,
I was gonna say, is this due to pandemics and shutdowns?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
do with COVID-19. But here, this I think it will be a great product for you as well, Christine.
Thank you.
Leggings with a nice message that probably mimic a fireman uniform will be cool. A lot of flames, a lot of water. So this is definitely a nice product to consider and just go with the process. Shorts and skirts, I don't know, ladies, what do you guys think? To have something like casual. What is your take on it, Donna and Christine? I need to hear your opinions on this one.
Um, I feel like any of these products would be applicable with the right reason why. If there's a skirt that ties in somehow, or maybe a skirt with flames on it. I would wear a skirt with flames on it. But yeah, I think as long as it ties it, there's a reason why a woman firefighter or a firefighter spouse would wear that skirt. I don't think that there's any product that you couldn't have that wouldn't be appropriate, as long as you can come up with a good hook or reason why.
Exactly. And I think that was the point that I wanted to convey, that if the product mixes properly with your store and with your message, why not? Go for it. Start working with your designs, start working with your prints, and you'll see the results. Same thing here. I mean, we're having fun internally here in the company with these products right here, uh, because they're fun to design and they're fun to actually work with, for the simple reason that they're products that sell. Because everybody wants to have a bikini or a two piece or a one piece with a very cool design, and this is a big emerging industry now because of the opportunity. So ideas, they're galore. I mean, there's a lot of ideas for products like this. The same case with the underwear for men. So have fun with it. Consider it and make sure that if you have an option to have a nice design that mix correctly, just as Donna mentioned, within the product, go for it. Now I'm gonna jump a little bit more into other products because kids. Let me just touch a little bit on kids because kids always sell. I mean, not kids per se, but products for kids. So why? Because they're cute. And if you have the right design for a cute t-shirt for your son or a cute hoodie, that could be a winner. So, and this, I believe this is a new product for them. Yeah, this is a new product. And this is a killer product.
It's adorable.
I mean, I believe they released it maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. And just imagine something says, I am, I don't know, grandson of the greatest fireman ever, or something that conveys family, something that conveys the fact that, hey, my grandpa is a firefighter. Maybe a little fire truck with a small illustration, a toy fire truck. I want to be a fireman when I grow up. Things like that that convey a feeling. That's what you want to focus on. And with that said, products that convey a feeling. Now we're gonna go to accessories. Here we can have a lot of fun because every single mother, sister, wife, or relative, female relative of a firefighter loves to have a nice tote when they run errands, when they go to the shopping mall. This will be your canvas to have a nice piece of art, very a nice picture of a fireman. Uh, there's many things that you can do with these products.
And there are a lot of inspirational quotes about firemen. Things like, firemen don't just save lives, they save homes, or, you know,
Many other things.
yeah, many other things. There are other things. You can Google them.
Yeah, you can. There's along the way we're going to be showing Christine a couple of resources that we have.
Just see Carmen's idea. I just put it up highlighting for a child, the bib, or maybe a little ember. Little ember.
Oh, that's right.
Adorable.
Nice. It is adorable. So you see now we have the audience giving ideas to Christine. So that's awesome. Thanks, guys. And this is why it's so great to be part of such a beautiful community. And because, of course, if you participate well enough and you want to be in the hot seat just like Christine is in the next one, just follow the process. Maybe not only you win the opportunity to work with us directly, but also you might win maybe the prizes. So
Eldon also, this is genius. Firefighters save cats. You can get the firefighter people and the cat people.
There you go.
Freaking genius.
Yep, that is genius. That I gotta give you. Anything that you can mix and cross-reference is always a good thing. Here's another little piece, and I don't know if they're out of stock, but and the message is it should be a very small message, but not this one. I actually got the earrings. I think they do have the designs. Yeah, this one actually was the one that I was looking for. These ones are, small sterling earrings, but if you decide something that can be, imprinted here, like a small fire, like the fireman's hat, or maybe the little axe with the ladder, maybe the number of their unit or their I don't know if they go by precincts or their station number. That will be a cool personalized gift, and I think this is something to the personalization aspect of it. Let's say to remember somebody, to honor somebody. So that would be a cool piece of jewelry that you have. And remember, guys, we're working on ideas. Phone cases are always a good opportunity to convey a message. Why? Because people are all on their phones and they always have their phones in their hands. So if they want to be reminded of something, or if you want them to be proactive, sharing your message, think of something nice to say and print it in a phone case. So that's always good. And here is, and I'm gonna just jump into the flip phones because this will be a great product to promote in the states that have coastal areas. The beach flops. Something nice to say about firemen. Put them in the flops.
There,
Uh,
there's a question, John, about whether drop shippers ship internationally
yes, they do.
and
As
print on
a
demand.
Yeah, print on demand will ship. As a matter of fact, Printful just opened two warehouses in one in Australia that is going to be like a direct fulfillment center, and I do believe that they do now cover a lot more part in South America. I don't exactly remember where, but I know they announced it recently, and that is a lot to consider because one thing that maybe we have missed in the conversation is where is your audience if you want to target specific countries. If you want to target Europe and you want to do print on demand, think of the options because maybe Tscape will have certain products, Printful will have certain products, but also think of the delivery time. So all those things those are the little things that we're going to learn along the way as we create Christine's store. But now we're talking about ideas. So now there's many other products that I can see, and the only reason why I brought up the shower curtain is because these guys have. So when I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute, they do have shower curtains. That's awesome. Why? Because it's a different product. And where are they? Bing bags, hats. Don't tell me that they don't have any more. The sportswear. Wait a second. Where did it go? I believe it's in eco-friendly. Maybe they have it available. I know it was in accessories.
Can you search?
Yeah, let me just do the search. Shower. Oh, they removed that.
All those great shower curtain ideas.
I'm sorry?
All those great shower curtain ideas. Tina has a great suggestion. Firefighter wife. Most people never meet their heroes. I married mine.
Oh, that's a nice one.
I like that a lot too. I saw one also. I'm just sort of doing a Google search here. That was my hero is a firefighter, but I call her mom.
Oh, I love that one. That's actually nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since we couldn't really go with the shower, I'm going to send an email to see what happened because I was so ecstatic. We have beach towels.
I feel like aprons are a really good match
yeah.
for firefighters too, because they're notoriously good chefs as well.
Yep. Posters, canvas prints, aprons, bean bags. So there's, I mean, you can spend a good chunk of time taking a look at all the options that you have because that's what you have, options. That's the cool part about a company like Printful. And of course, all other third-party vendors, they do have their pros and cons, but if you want to have different products, definitely Printful is the way to go. If you want to specialize in t-shirts, also consider this, the price of the items. If you're also thinking of budgeting yourself into what it will be the total cost that I'm willing to pay per t-shirt, think about that. So there's a couple of things that we're going to be explaining along the way in how to maximize that as well. But so, Christine, as part of
Yeah.
your mission for next week, will be to have now a couple of more ideas, not on products, because I think we give you plenty of products already, but just a couple of products that you want to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to start working with this. And then you and I should say, Donna, you and I will work on how will be the best way to present that product and go to the next step.
Okay.
So um, let's see if we have anything else here that I'm so bummed out that I don't have the shower curtains right now. I was so excited to show you because it was so cool. But they do have the beach towels and the bags, but no, they don't have the shower curtains. Hmm. Oh, stickers. I mean, you can have fun with stickers as well. They're that's a great marketing piece right there. And of course, mugs, throw pillows and pillowcases. So no
Stickers
trick
are also a great thing to give as a free add-on or
correct. As a free little add-on would be
little
perfect.
gift.
Yeah. So now, since we know a couple of products that we can get and how to get them and where to see them, is now to part of the creative process. So that will be your biggest mission for next week. You come up with an idea and define and refine what products you want to start with. Again, we're not asking you to like, hey, go into Printful and just write down every product and start thinking of this. No, you're gonna make that call because this is the time that you're gonna work with your husband and say, hey, what do you think will be better if we're targeting the families and we're talking to relatives and even the fighters, the firefighters themselves, what will be the best product? What do you think he will sell? And I know that he probably just call a couple of his buddies and say, hey man, if I open a store, what will be the things that you would buy from me? And that is what it's all about, is the experience. Communicate with people. Share your idea. A lot of people say, yeah, but when you tell your ideas to your family, they never support you. It doesn't matter. Oh, you're crazy. You're opening an e-commerce store. Don't spend the time on that. Do it anyways. I mean,
Talk about it in our community. If
exactly.
you don't have people nearby in your life, in your home, in your neighborhood, old friends that support you, that's why we have a community, because we have the most supportive, most helpful, most amazing group of people that are right behind you, that want nothing more than to see you succeed, because your success means they can do it too.
Exactly. Hence the reason why anyone can do it. Anyone can be as successful as we want. I mean, it's all within us. So now, moving along with the presentation, we're not gonna leave the assignment only for Christine because she's the one. But you know what? If you want to participate and take the challenge and come next week with a couple of ideas, follow along because right now it's gonna get fun and fun in the upcoming weeks. Because next week now we're gonna have Christine's store in the bare bones, so we're gonna see it come up and grow up to be the cool store that it's going to be. So with that said, I am going to spend the next 10 minutes because I just realized that it's 7:29. And I know that I'm always very respectful of the time. So we're going to spend next time answering some questions because I know that there's some questions pending. Right, David?
Pretty much got most of them, I think, actually.
I only have one question, but this is a big one, John. This is for you. Why doesn't Carl have any functions?
I'm sorry. Which one? What?
Carl?
Yeah, in the last Groovekart challenge, the
Oh,
see you next week, Carl was having
yeah.
some challenge,
Oh, that is a big question.
That
You
is,
know what?
yeah, I'm missing Carl and his challenges.
Yeah, Curious Carl, unfortunately, it was a distraction. And whenever I completed the slides, I'm like, oh, I forgot to put the
Shoot, I
question.
forgot Carl.
But then I know that at some point somebody in the audience will ask me about it. So yeah, well, he's here to say goodbye and see you next week.
Yeah,
So
that's the only one.
that's
Carl's
the
too
only
busy
question.
working on his Groovekart store.
All right. So yeah, and yeah, he's probably looking at his card. And you know what, guys? In all seriousness, we got a lot of great successes, a couple of good success stories in the last challenge. I spoke personally with Sandra Soto. I have yet to communicate with the other two winners, but Sandra is ecstatic. We recently actually just helped her in a couple of things, and maybe she's here with us today. Maybe she's not, but I believe she might be, uh, because we want everybody to succeed. We want to make sure that the process is fun, but at the end of the day, is fruitful for your own experience, and of course helps you, because right now it's all about helping each other, make sure that we pass this through crazy times while having fun, while making money. So there's not going to be no assignments. And we do have any other questions, any other comments? Donna, David?
Yes, so I heard from Linda Tomasov previously, and she prepared some questions. I'm not quite sure if you want to try to answer some of them here, or she's actually just starting to put them into the common box there. I told her to hold on until the Q&A session at the end, so she listened and she was holding back until now.
Oh, you see, actually, Sandra Soto just reported. She says, I'm here. So, hi, Sandra. By the way, PayPal is on the way. I forgot to do it today. We spoke to her about her price, and she decided to against any cards or anything like that. So we're just gonna just do cold hard cash in the form of PayPal. So if you want to win the $100 and the extra store, participate. You know, give your ideas and pay attention and learn, and maybe you get selected. And of course, participate in the essay that is coming up. I believe it's in week 5. Donnie, if I'm correct,
I
4
think
or
so.
5.
I think it was week 5.
So awesome.
Can
So
I say something?
of course, I was about to give you the mic because
Oh.
you are the star of the show today. So go for it, Christine.
I know that I had seen someone earlier put down that their cart was going to be jewelry, and I do that also. So my thing that I was always looking for is, since we have so many pieces of different jewelry, it was not available, and I'm sure this person is probably going to think the same thing that I was. Is there a way to upload on a CVS file, because it makes it so much easier to upload through that than having to put in all the information for one piece of jewelry? Because there's quite a bit. You have to give it the pricing, then you have to give the detail of it. And so I don't know. And I know we do not have that. Is that correct?
John?
I'm sorry. I was actually reading a question for
So
Linda.
the question is, can you upload multiple products at once with the CSV?
As far as of Groovekart, at the moment, not yet, but is coming. I know that the CSV is part of the roadmap and is been for a couple of months. But I will keep you posted on that. I wouldn't dare to say yes, it's almost ready, because I am not 100% sure. So I will talk to Mr. Max, which is the lead developer, and we will get that answered. And you know, as a matter of fact, I'm going to write it down so I can give you an answer next week.
But what you can do, right, is clone a product.
Yes, you can do that.
So you can, if you're uploading similar ones, you can upload one, clone it, make the minor changes, clone it, make the minor changes. So that could speed up the process a little.
Correct. Yeah, and you know what? Let me just allow me to demonstrate it really quickly. So let me open one of the stores really quickly here, and I'll show you how to do it really quickly, because this was part of one of the latest releases. So 1 second, let me log in really quickly here in the store, and let me see if I can remember my email. And David, in the meantime, I see that Linda Tomaso actually has a question. I was reading when you guys asked me the other question. So I believe that she was having a hard time uploading a video. If I'm getting that correct.
Well, she has
She has a
actually a
couple, and
couple
they're
of
all
them. Yeah.
specific to her store. I think she needs a little personal time.
Yeah, what we're gonna do, Linda, what we're gonna do is do me a favor, send me an email to support@groovedigital.com. Make it attention John, so I can make sure that once it comes in, I'll be able to take a look at it really quickly, and then address that for you, and get you an answer. Because right now, guys, by the way, and I know that some of our audience right now, if you're waiting for a ticket to be resolved, we are trying to beat our times of between 24 to 48 hours. So if you have a ticket that is outstanding or pending, just be a little bit of lenient with the time, because we're getting a lot of new requests, especially for Groovekart, because with the new updates, there's a lot of new changes. And also, since I have my victim, I mean, David here, which is going to be working with me on the Groovekart videos, so we can safely say that we're going to have some Groovekart videos soon for everybody to enjoy with the new platform. But
Linda does have a question that I'd like to answer.
sure.
She said that our company is currently sending out custom products that they have, as well as print on demand products, and they come from two separate locations. And she asks, the company will send out the items that they make, and Dropshipping will send out the mugs that are, maybe also added in the order. Do I put a message in the checkout saying product ABC is mailing from a separate location? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I would indicate in your checkout products may come in separate shipments, something along those lines, or product delivery times may be different. And I don't think people are surprised by that anymore, because that's how Amazon has been doing it for a couple of years. You'll buy 5 or 6 things on Amazon and get them in 5 or 6 boxes sometimes, all on different days. So I think they're getting more used to the idea that an order won't be held back and everything be in one box at delivery time.
Correct. And that also affects the performance of the store. Because if you think about it, it's easier to be clear with your customer before he purchases.
Mm-hmm.
And that will instill the confidence that, okay, now I know that this item might probably take a little bit more, or it might be shipped before the other one. So it's always good to be clear. Now, if you guys were paying attention to the story, now I'm creating a product because I remove everything because I can just formatted my store. And I'm creating a one product really quickly here. And I'm going to just do it without any product, so I can show you the cloning feature really quickly. Let me just do the save here and then just go to finish. And since I'm working in a very small screen, that's why it looks like that. Let me just click save on next. Let's just go save on next really quickly here, because I just need to show you guys the list of products so you can see where to clone the product. It will be just in a second here. And let me close some windows. And oh, let me see. By the way, I'm actually looking for a company that does calendars. Do we know any company, Donna, that maybe does calendars? Because calendars will be great asset for Christine.
Yeah, seriously. I don't.
Hold on. Okay, now I'm just gonna
Although
publish
firefighters of the month is exactly where my head went when you said shower curtains. I imagined a set of 12. Seriously. You might have noticed my eyes went away a little bit.
Yeah,
I
that's
look
why.
at my face. Yeah, I was off in La La Land.
That's why I noticed. Hey, Donna, are you okay? And you see, just the fact that Christine is laughing, she had the same idea, but she did not want to say anything because she married one, right?
That's right.
So, all right, let me just make sure that the product is visible online right here. And of course, it's going to be just an empty product. Just 1 second. You see, this is the product. But my whole point is here. Once you go to product, let me just go back to home right here. So let's pretend you have a list of 20 products or 30 products or 5 products, whatever the amount it is. Right here is the list of the products. Let me just go back to it because I clicked in the wrong place. So you go to my products. and you're going to have the list. And right below it, you're going to have this little box right here. And I think I'm hitting a delay here. Right here. You see this box right here? Where right next to the ID number. You click that box, and then in your action button, and a lot of people don't know what these actions are or do. So from here, you can do a lot of things. But you see right here, you can duplicate the product. Once you click in here, it will say duplication in progress, and it will give you another item. So if it's a similar item, you can easily duplicate it. And all that you have to do is go in and change a little bit of the description, maybe, or the sizes, or whatever, any other product that you want to, any addition that you want to do to that product. But it's very simple. The actions items at the bottom of the list. So with this test product that you see here, now we're going to have a second one, but of course we're going to edit it to our needs. Now that's how you can do it, since we don't have the CSV functionality ready. And David, do we have any other questions right now?
Not that I've seen so far. Everything was answered. There's one from Peter. John, do you think that in the future we'll be able to update the product inventory with an FTP download that connects to our supplier site? This is a different from CSV.
Right. Yeah. This will be more of a connection, maybe more of an API kind of situation. There's room for expansion, and there's room to update accordingly to the user needs in our store. So put it down as a request, and make sure that people voted on. Like, hey guys, we are here for you. Remember that. And the product will take the direction that you want us to take it. If you believe that that functionality is definitely a must for you and for other members, go into the Canio. I'm going to put the link in a moment here in the chat. So you can go into that link and actually get the product. And I'm not the product, but get the functionality for your store. Now, I do see here a question from a Facebook user. It says, John, how do I add a digital product to my store? So let me just go back to my store in a second here. Let me just come back to it here. So how do you add a digital product? It's very simple. So you see, now this is the copy of my product. All that I do is edit it. So, and I click accidentally somewhere. Let me just go back for a second and close this window here. And let me make sure that this loads. Let me close this one. And what you do is once you start creating your product, you just select a digital product. I'll show you in a second. And let me just remove this as well. And I'm just so bummed I cannot find the shower curtains, but that's another story. So there is a way to do it, Facebook user. As soon as this loads, okay. Let me just edit this product here. And what it will happen, it actually is on the very first step. And mind you, we're answering questions here, and all this is going to be covered once we do product creation in week 3, I believe it is. And we're going to just go over all these things. And right here, at the top, you see where it says the standard product. If you pull that tab right there, digital product. So that's where you start, and it will give you different options. You see digital product options. You click change. Does it have an associated file? If it does, you can put either the link or the file name and how many downloads you allowed to your customer. So that's how you add a digital product. So for Facebook user, unfortunately, I don't see your name. Hopefully that answered your question. Now, also, Linda, please do send me the questions. Don't forget to send the email to support@groovedigital.com, and just on the subject line, just put it to attention, John, so I can take a look at it. And also, let me just provide the link where we can submit the feature request for Groovekart.
I did, John.
Oh, you did? Oh, you're
Yep.
the man, David. What would I do without you?
He's awesome, isn't he?
He is my superstar. Well, my superstar in reality is my son and my daughter, but David comes in a sweet third place.
I probably thank the universe every single day for creating David Lemon and sending him to us.
Yes.
Oh, guys, come on.
Now he's no, but David, you got to tell this story.
Come on, guys, don't you agree? Doesn't he rock?
No, I know, and hey, but David, tell this story really, and I'm gonna just blow my own horn right now. Who did actually encourage you to continue with Groovekart and Groove Pages?
No, I told these guys the story once on one of my live streams. I actually I joined Groove Funnels and everything, and I was like, what, this software is just like bad, I want my refund. So I actually contacted support, and there was this guy John Garcia, dear Mr. David, and I was like, come on, what now? And then he actually made me stay, and then here I am now. So
So, I mean,
It's good. You went from troublemaker to superstar.
Yep.
Speaking about of conversion, and I think the ROI that we're getting out of David is amazing because he is without a doubt a great asset to the team. But it was fun
Thank you,
because it
guys.
was a fun interaction. That's what we do. We try to make sure that we help everybody. And David, in reality, he was getting frustrated, like many of us. Like when we don't know something, but you see, the important part is he didn't give up to the point that he's working for the company. So imagine that. So, guys, with that said, Christine, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I know it was just us talking about what you'll be facing in the next 8 weeks, but I hope that you took a lot of notes because next week is going to be hands-on. You and I are going to be talking internally. We're going to define your domain name because we didn't talk a lot about the domain name, which we'll talk in the second week, but the importance of that. So we can give a little bit of work for you to do. And I'm just looking forward for next week. So, guys, with that said, thank you very much for being with us tonight. Bye-bye. Have a great day. And Donna, if you want to say some parting words for tonight, Christine, David, anybody?
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks
All
a bunch.
right, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.